Carles Puigdemont thinks he can have another shot at Catalonia's presidency after Germany's decision on his extradition. He's promoting a new political movement. Hello, and welcome to Catalan News. Crida Nacional per la República, or National Call for the Republic. This is the name of the new project by former President Carles Puigdemont. He aims to bring together the pro-independence movement, but it won't be easy for him. In a minute, we'll tell you why, and we'll also bring you the latest on the efforts to eliminate symbols from the Franco dictatorship, and the backlash that followed. Catalan President Quim Torra has said several times that his best day in office will be when his predecessor, Carles Puigdemont, is restored to the post. And their ticket believes this is now closer to coming true than ever. And meanwhile, Torra is supporting a new political movement led by Puigdemont.
He still faces extradition, but even from Germany, Carles Puigdemont continues to have a strong influence on Catalan politics. Today, he presented a new political movement, supported by the current Catalan president and his successor, Quim Torra. Crida Nacional per la República, or National Call for the Republic, is the name of the initiative aimed at developing Puigdemont's Junts per Catalunya candidacy, with which he ran in the December election. The new project aims to bring together the independence movement, but particularly focusing on PDeCAT, the Liberal party that supported Puigdemont's ticket. PDeCAT is the successor of the party that governed Catalonia for almost 30 years, and it will decide on the former president's proposal in its Congress this weekend. Yet left-wing Esquerra, the other mainstream pro-independence party, has already turned down the invitation to heed this call.
El país i l'independentisme creiem que necessita d'un centre-dreta fort i potent. Cadascú creiem que ha de créixer en el seu espai i, per tant, després poder sumar entre tots i totes per ser més forts.
In the unionist camp, the announcement sparked criticism. The Ciutadans party said the move aims to hide the corruption of PDeCAT and its predecessor. Meanwhile, the socialists called on the new project to respect Spain's legal framework.
Rebuig tot procediment unilateral i legal que ja hem vist que no porta res de bo a Catalunya. Això és el que hem vingut demanant i demanem també.
This comes as Puigdemont's closest allies met in Hamburg. They said he was closer to returning to power in Catalonia after Germany rejected the rebellion charges against him. They believe if Puigdemont is only extradited for misuse of public funds, he might not be sent to pre-trial jail and could potentially be sworn in Parliament. His not being able to attend the chamber was the Spanish judiciary's argument to veto him from the presidency.
This week might be crucial for Puigdemont and the other 5 MPs who were ordered to give up their seats by the Spanish Supreme Court. The Parliament Bureau is to decide tomorrow morning whether to comply with this ruling. The judge suspended these lawmakers, 5 of whom are in pretrial prison because they are being prosecuted for rebellion. The chamber might decide to avoid them having to give up their posts by allowing them to be represented by existing MPs. Another hot topic underway in the country is handling the remains of the Franco regime, including the literal remains of the dictator. The executives of Catalonia and Spain seem to agree on this, but this has sparked protests by fascist movements.
The Valley of the Fallen, a monumental mausoleum erected in a mountain range near Madrid, a symbol of the fascist victory in the Spanish Civil War, built in part by political prisoners, and also the burial place of the late dictator Francisco Franco. Spain has never found it easy coping with its troubled history, and there is perhaps no greater example of its most lingering dilemma, forgetting a painful past or re-examining a history written by the victors. A new government in Madrid under socialist leader Pedro Sánchez has chosen the second option. More than 40 years after his death, the dictator's remains will be removed from the site's basilica.
Un gobierno de todos y para todos no puede aceptar esos símbolos de exaltación de una dictadura condenada por la historia.
But not everybody welcomed the decision. Over the weekend, hundreds of people attended a demonstration called by far-right groups. They chanted support for the dictator, and police even seized flags with fascist symbols, which are banned from being displayed at the memorial. Even today, the site remains a place of pilgrimage for those nostalgic for the Franco era. Yet with over 30,000 people from both sides buried in the mausoleum, the government hopes to turn it into a place for reconciliation and peace. Meanwhile, in Catalonia, the pro-independence government has pledged to put forward legislation that will eliminate all Francoist symbols from public spaces.
La simbologia franquista és simbologia feixista i arreu del nostre país, malauradament, arreu del nostre país, encara tenim plaques de carrers que recorden a feixistes.
Efforts to re-examine the Franco dictatorship started more than a decade ago with Spain's historical memory law. But with the Conservative People's Party in government, no funds were allocated to it and all measures failed. With the Socialists again in power, the task can be resumed. But with a small percentage of MPs in Parliament, it is yet to be seen how far this government will get.
Today wasn't an easy Monday to commute to work for some in Catalonia. The reason? Heavy rain, especially intense around 8 and 10 in the morning. In towns such as this one, Badalona, close to Barcelona, some avenues became streams and the water even swept away rubbish bins. Here, 40 millimeters fell in barely 30 minutes, with 4.6 in 1 minute. Firefighters got around 100 calls due to the storms because some floods happened even in accesses to hospitals. Still talking about water, but now in the sea, on the tourist spot the Costa Brava. An underwater protest in favor of the local marine environment resulted in an unexpected discovery. This wartime shell was spotted by divers close to the Formigas Islands. When they bumped into it, they saw it was intact and that it measured 90 centimeters in length and 30 in width. The activists were especially surprised that no one had found it before, as it was located in a relatively shallow location. Now the police will inspect this rare artifact, which might be from the Spanish Civil War in the 1930s. This past weekend saw many cultural offerings in Catalonia. Let's see 5 festivals brought to the stage.
Culture came alive this weekend in Catalonia. On Saturday at the Portaferrada Festival in the north, singer-songwriter Jack Johnson performed the surf rock he's most known for, while also using this platform for political activism. This 56th edition of the festival has seen so far 28,000 tickets sold, including other names like Ricky Martin. Also in the north, in the town of Calella de Palafrugell, came the Caprach Festival. This included Mexican singer Luis Miguel, who performed some of his greatest hits from over 35 years of a career. The lineup also includes names like Brian Ferry, Chicago Wilco and Andrea Bocelli, selling out many of its 28 performances, and organizers are happy with the results.
Pues la veritat que el tema de la venda d'entrades estem molt contents i molt satisfets. Què espero? Pues espero que sigui un èxit, espero que la gent disfruti, espero que sigui una experiència.
Crida lit up the weekend with music and pyrotechnics, one of the big festivals of the summer, featuring the likes of Gilberto Gil, Pharrell Williams, Prophets of Rage, Justice, Damian Marley, Kygo and The Roots. Crida was held by the beach in Barcelona and closed the curtain on its 3-day event with around 57,000 ticket holders, matching last year's numbers. Also by the water was the very first edition of the Techno Barcelona Beach Festival. The Festival Grec, one of the main visual arts events in Barcelona, spans the entire month of July. This theatre, dance, music and circus festival saw on Sunday the participatory piece The Monster in the Maze by Jonathan Dove, inspired by the myth of Theseus and the Minotaur, with the Orfeo Català Choir and the Young National Orchestra of Catalonia, as well as many more.
Another music festival kicked off this weekend, the International Festival Pau Casals, paying tribute to the Catalan world-class cellist and composer. The first of the 8 concerts in the festival featured Bruno Philippe, a young talent who was enthusiastic about playing in Casals' hometown, El Vendrell. Enjoy the music, and see you tomorrow.